All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
First down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. Eluded, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue able to get him for a loss of about 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Ready. 60 or. Hard. Shoot.
They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first-quarter grab here.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, When guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Bravo.
Here's 2nd and 8. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them, and they took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Hey, lock it.
You can't block me. Check 3. Check.
Ooh, with a juke. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, Delta.
Pick me up. Here we go. Mark 55. Mark 55.
He'll drop to throw. Complete to Bryant. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first.
First down, Miami.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Check 55 to Mike. And watch your leg. Mike.
Get ready.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I got him. Shoot.
Get it.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Shoot.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep here for Park. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He was looking for Parker that time. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 46-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Back and go full strength.
Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Watson off play action. Going deep for Hopkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 bump.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brings up
Down.
2nd and
10
8
over.
at the Texans' 46-yard
Hey,
line.
Sam off. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
41 Mike.
Yep.
Stop your whining.
They'll set up to throw. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. They do get 9, but it leads leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only one you...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conlon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Let's go. Pick it up, team. In the car.
Third and long, it's Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd and 1. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. 23 yards the pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught by Bryant. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go
4
now.
yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Dante Fowler able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Back to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Let's hear it, Texans fans, because it's 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Gary and Conley. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up into 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup.
This is caught inside the 15, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and it certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said, this touchdown can give them their belief back that they can win in the second half.
So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And again, this time to the tailback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ready, ready.
Check 55, Mike.
Go.
Let's go, defense. Out of time. Let's out.
Topper.
Watching it first.
Snap.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Balaj. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
First down, Dolphins.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line.
Back. Watch the ship.
They'll try the left side. Swift. And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down. No gain on the play. 2nd down coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going deep here for Bryant. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. That field goal a moment ago cut into their lead, but they still have that lead. They'll be looking to get the points right back.
And you just took me back to playing days. I could hear my head coach now in the locker room at halftime. The last thing he always said was,
"Don't screw up, Davis."
Well, besides that became a catch-all. But he always told the team, first 5 minutes, extremely important. How are we going to react? How are we going to take control? We need to. Well, in this case, his team didn't. They gave up a field goal. Can they get their momentum back going in their direction? See if they have a match or an answer on this drive.
We'll see. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Watson, he's going to back away and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 61 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. Now it's Watson. Escaping, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go. The ball ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost don't.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hey, Alpha. Hey, rock it. Rock, sleep river.
He'll look to throw. It's caught. Cooper. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
He's checking. Crash.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Check. Watch the eye. Shit.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They're going to look to throw. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. Intended that time for Cooper. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Second and 6 at the 32-yard line.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Sweep. Here comes Fuller. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Get his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hey, we got to snap it. We got to go.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a trunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
50 set. 19. 58 right there. Let's go one more. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. 24. Tight 59. Wahoo.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Returnable for Grant. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waited.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Brought in over the middle by Graham. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Set, ready? 90, wolf. Here we go, all day, defense, all day. Shoot.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick.